Welcome back, everyone, to another Eric Mars video. I'm David, I'm here with Eric, and we're going to be reacting to some spooky, some scary,
exactly,
haunted type. I don't know what Eric's got for me. It's for some videos, yeah.
And today we're going to be watching and reacting to Faze Rug, The Night We Were Scared of Our Lives. I'm going to tell you the truth, this one's a really good one, and I saved it up for David, so we're going to get started. And obviously, before we begin, just remember, what's it called? We're going to give you biblical views and perspectives on behind everything we watch. So don't feel like you are, watching in a negative light. Everything we say is being honest and being genuinely truthful. And we're not saying anything that is not in the Bible, okay? We will give our own personal opinions on certain things, whether we believe it or not. I'm pretty sure, David, we actually filmed before, but that video didn't go out. It didn't work out. Everything worked like messed up. But today we're gonna react to Faze Rug, and we're going to give you advice, and give you some, what would it be?
Not tips, not tricks.
More of like just like an understanding on a Christian's perspective. That's the idea. And so before we begin, do not be scared. This is a scary one. This one's actually like a lot of activity. So don't be afraid of that. And forever remember that God's with you. All right. So repent and believe in the gospel, and you will truly be saved. So you won't have to worry about anything attacking you. Okay. Ready to begin?
Ready to go.
Was that good?
Yeah.
Tonight, Mikael Myers is expecting us, bro. Let's do this. Time.
Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah, bro.
I'm so scared.
I talked about you hearing loud footsteps, the TV. I know there's something going on with Leslie. Is that a real thing? Like, what's going on?
We just did that. We had this thing where we thought someone was literally living in the attic. We checked it multiple times. Nothing. We kind of scratched that, but there's footsteps up in the attic. When me and Leslie are asleep in the room, we hear them, and we also hear footsteps upstairs most of the time. There's something in this house that does not want Leslie here.
Do you think it's a girl spirit?
I don't know.
I think it might be, I don't want to say his name, but
Zio.
yeah, because he hates
Shut up.
Anthony.
You're in your house.
I swear, he's done with us. Like, he's not back.
Stop,
because it has to be.
There's some misconception in the comment section that I am afraid for my life and we still make videos about it and stuff. Completely wrong. I'm not in fear for my life. I think it's like cool, and of course I want to film videos on it.
All right.
I want to make that clear when we do this. I'm scared, but not enough to a point where I don't want to.
It's just intriguing. Like, same with me. Like, of course there are times I wake up with scratch marks. I don't like that part of it, but it's cool interacting with them and actually getting answers.
And it is in no way, shape, or form worshiping no demons. None of that. That's the furthest thing from it. We're just curious.
Oh, it's bad.
What do you want to say here and all that?
I mean, they obviously, if it's real, they obviously know something's up. They're like, oh no, we're not worshiping demons. We're just contacting them. It's like, come on. It's almost a no-brainer that probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I think a part of that is, like you mentioned, like self-aware, being like, we're just filming it for content. At the same time, how he mentioned that he doesn't want to leave, meaning like this is generating some clicks, you know. And at the same time, they're kind of like almost inviting this behavior, you know.
Yeah,
it's not like, hey, I want to be done with this, you know. Now, Brian also mentioned about waking up with scratch marks. What do you think of that?
I don't know, because I mean, it could be anything, right? You accidentally scratch yourself. Maybe you were laying down wrong. But what I didn't understand was, he woke up with scratch marks in this house or in his own house?
In his own house. Yeah.
I don't know.
So he has his own thing going on, or he's experienced some of this sort of stuff. So they're I guess when I see both of them interact, it's almost as if it's just turmoil. You know, it's just adding more to it. So have you experienced something like this or not?
A couple of freaky things I know. Maybe my family has more than I have. Like my sister, I remember she said she saw a couple of things in her house when we were younger. She said she remembers, so every once in a while she'll bring it up and we'll talk about it. But me specifically, I can only think of one time when I saw something that really freaked me out.
I think you told me this.
Yeah, it was when I was a kid, I used to live in a 2-story house, and right next door was our uncle, I think, or my uncle on my dad's side, something like that. We're related somehow. And my dad was working in the backyard, and there's an alley in the backyard, right? We had a chain link fence, and I saw a guy standing in the shadow, all black, couldn't see his face. And I was like, Dad, there's someone there. And he's like, I'm working. Like, yeah, it's an alley where like people are going to be there. I'm like, no, but look, he's someone there. Like, he's scaring me. And he looks, and he's like, go inside. You're distracting me. There's nobody there. And I look again, and the guy's gone. I think that's
Yeah.
that's the only thing that I can remember where I experienced it
But
myself.
that sounds like you were like super young at the time.
Yeah, I was really small.
Oh, okay. So it hasn't happened. Nothing. Okay. Well, do you think there was just like an actual person there, or is it fast? Are they fast enough to get out of there?
No,
Was it just straight brick walls in between?
no, because I mean, I think there was like a small tree and a wooden fence on the other side, so he would have had to walk out. We were at the edge,
Or
right?
jump it.
So he could have walked, yeah, or jump it, right? But there's no way he was that fast.
Yeah, I get
And
you.
we like no one heard anything, like I didn't hear him move or anything like that.
Oh, okay. Just
So-
vanished.
Yeah,
Okay. So I feel like if you're in a position like this where you're receiving physical scratch marks, whether it's you or not, whatever the point is, cast that crap out. You have to cast it out immediately. Literally go in between every door, every window, and literally rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Just as Jesus was walking in the desert, and he literally told the devil and says, "Be gone, Lucifer," or "Be gone, Satan," and Satan fled. You know, so the same way as Jesus does it, you do it too. What's it called? You don't have to be like I don't know, some status or anything. It's really important that you receive the Holy Spirit. You know, you genuinely ask for forgiveness and repent. But in reality, it's like you need to get away from that, not entertain it by calling more people. Be like, let's yeah.
Come see. And you can call more people, but if you call more people, you know, it's better for all of you guys to pray together.
Yeah.
As the Bible say that when there's two
Two
or
or more.
three in my name, I'll be there. So
Yeah. But you could tell that's not gonna happen.
it's not gonna happen here.
There's a spot right here. So cozy. Fireplace is on if you guys want to hop in, take a look. I know we're going to get activity. I'm more excited for their reactions to it.
Listen, I do want to start with something simple. This is a dead bell. I've used it in 1 or 2 investigations, but it might look like a receptionist bell at a hotel, but this actually doesn't only go off by physical touch like that. It also acts as an EMF meter, so depending on the energy from the spirit, they can actually trigger this to go off. So I'm going to turn it on, and it's
By the way, I want to just jump in and say, whether you're using a Ouija board or not, you're using something to contact the spirits. And the book of Leviticus says not to do that. And so this, obviously you're not using a planchette or anything, but you're still opening that window or that door. What do you think?
Yeah, it might not even work. Like it might not be real. He said it's EMF or whatever. So that's, I'm assuming, electric magnetic field. So they can trigger it with something else. But I'm thinking of the story of Saul, where he goes and he contacts Samuel with the medium.
I haven't read that one yet.
Okay, well,
What book is that?
I don't remember.
I just finished Second Samuel, so it's not there.
No.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're close. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
Kings?
But probably Kings,
Okay.
because it's when I think David's getting close to ascend the throne or whatever.
Oh, David did pass.
Saul goes and speaks to a medium because he needs advice from Samuel, who's already passed away, and the medium calls up Samuel, and the medium is surprised that Samuel's spirit actually comes up. So what I think there is, more than likely, she wasn't actually calling up spirits. It was more than likely like a demon or something.
Pretending.
That was pretending to be the person.
Right.
Right. So she was surprised that Samuel actually showed up. So even if this doesn't work and it's not like a real, like they're setting it off or whatever, what if something actually does pick up? So now you're playing games with something that's that's stronger than you expected, which, I mean, I don't think will happen here, but I mean, it could happen. So probably better to avoid that.
Yeah, that's actually a good point because, like you mentioned, and I mentioned in many videos too, where the enemy is out to deceive you since the beginning of your birth, right? So if you are looking for, let's say, for example, you're looking for your loved one, I could just easily be like, yeah, that's me. You know?
Yeah.
You don't know. I'm just clicking on a bell or moving a planchette, you know? Anyway, let's continue.
and it's going to calibrate, so it'll go off. You know, it doesn't go off by any sort of movement around it, but if the spirit is powerful enough, it could make it go off like that. If you guys didn't know, I also have a spirit attached to me, confirmed by Patty Negri, who came to my house. She's a good witch. Not only are we trying to communicate.
Okay, we got to pause there. Like, come on.
I do want to mention, I did make a reaction to this about the whole witch part. I mentioned everything, but go ahead.
I mean, this is crazy. Like, right off the bat, like, dude, I know there's a spirit attached to me. Like, right off the bat, it's like, dude, come on. And I had a witch confirm it. Double whammy. Like, come on.
Dude, I know. By the way, we're not laughing at anybody. We're just making it like it's so obvious at this point. It's right in front of you, you know?
Yeah.
You know the problems, but yeah, I definitely agree. I made a whole video about it. By the way, she was wearing, I don't know if it was pentagrams or not, as earrings. Yeah, and then she had like jewelry. I think there was like a cross on one of them. I don't know if it was upside down or not. Regardless, she said that she was a good witch. But I was like, bro, you're not supposed to do this, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, if you want to check that out, actually, that's crazy. We're going to plug it in right here. But I thought that was crazy.
What I heard is I had a Ouija board spirit attached to me. His name was Baldar. Patty claimed that she got rid of that spirit because it wasn't the
Okay, I know that the bell did go off. I just want to jump in here. There was a story of Jesus walking, and a man with so many demons attached to him comes up to him, and Jesus says, "What's it called? I cast out these demons out of you." And what's it called? Then he later on says, "What's your name?" to the demons, and he got the name, and then they said, "Legion," for we're so many. And then Jesus says, "All right, Legion, I cast you out," and then they end up going to the pigs or whatever. If you have the opportunity or the ability to say by name, cast it out with the name, just as Jesus did. But again, don't remember those names. Don't store them in your heart or your mind. That's not for you to keep in your heart, in your life. You're supposed to enjoy your peace with Christ. Not remembering these evilness, because that's what it is. A demon is also known as unholy, and unholy means dirty spirit, like evilness, so you don't want that a part of you. You want to jump in?
Yeah, so one thing I want to say is, even if, because I don't believe that the witch had the power to cast the demon out, there's no way. What do the Pharisees tell Jesus? I think they tell him something about, oh, you're casting these out with the power of the devil, basically.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, a house divided against itself cannot stand. He's like, I'm not. Yeah, the devil's not going to cast out other demons, so there's no way that the witch cast this guy. Like, I don't believe it. But even if she did, there's something else that Jesus says as well, like that if the demon leaves for a certain amount of time, they can come back because you're empty, and he'll bring more spirits with him this time.
Exactly.
So that's something to be really careful about, because I mean, if you're just saying, oh yeah, I cast this demon out, and let's say the demon does leave for whatever reason, they're going to come back with more. Mm-hmm. So it's important, right, if you're not a Christian, to think about that, right? The only way you're going to be protected at all from any sort of demonic force is through the blood of Jesus Christ. So unless you're a Christian, I don't know what to tell you.
It's more, by the way, when we say be a Christian, it's more relationship with Christ, of course, just being a little bit more specific. But even if a person that doesn't believe asks for a blessing, that's how I was saved. Someone that doesn't deserve it got something. I was like, wow, truly God exists. And so that's how it happens. So you don't have to be a Christian, you have to have a relationship strong enough, so more blessings happen. Anyway, good to go.
Story really quick. I don't know if you guys know, the last investigation that we did, the Red Book basically told me that they want to kick me out of this house. They don't want me in this house.
So I basically told it like, no, Leslie is not leaving this house, and I flipped to a random page through a Red Book, and the part of the book that I basically pointed at said, fine, I have an unwanted guest in my house. There's nothing I can do about it.
Can you ring the bell if you...
To give you context, specifically to you, a Red Book is something that they, like how you mentioned, they just skim it and point at something, and that's their way of communicating. People do this with the Bible. Please don't do that. Read within context. Read things in scriptures within context. So don't go skimming just because it's the Bible. Oh, it has to be true, and then point at something and assume that that's what God's trying to tell you. Now, that doesn't mean that God doesn't use that way of communicating to you. I just recently heard that someone wanted to read a certain scripture. She missed it. She doesn't even know the name of it. And then she went to sleep. She woke up, and then the Bible app gave her the verse that she wanted. Cool. I know. So she was like, oh my gosh, like God really hears your prayers, right? That was her thing right there. But that's so different than just flipping the page and being like, oh, what am I going to do today? Because what if you go into, I don't know, see something about Saul and killing someone,
And you're like, all right, killing 1,000 people.
Yeah. So yeah, you got to read within context. But this Red Book thing, that's the same thing as the bell, as the Ouija board. You're just using it as to contact evil spirits. You want to go?
Yeah, go.
What are your intentions here?
Oh, the temperature's starting to change. There's the EMF.
By the way, AC is off.
I'm not gonna lie, it does feel cooler too. I don't know if I'm just tripping.
Yeah, it did.
I thought I felt a breeze.
Colder. Okay. Wait, the AC's off for sure.
Yeah, go check.
Off right there.
Is that 68?
69.
What is that?
Temperature spike on.
It got so cold.
Ring the bell at the same
Ring
time.
the bell?
Yeah, just put it out.
So guys, I'm gonna just leave it here. Anthony, where's a good spot? Just dead center right here? What? What? What?
Oh! What? Leg!
My initials again.
It said unholy. It's listen. It says unholy. Then it says leg. Leslie's initials is Leslie E. Guerrero.
I honestly don't know what to say. These guys are messing around with a lot. Like, I don't know how real it is. Because, I mean, it could happen. But, oh, are you a friendly ghost? Or are you a friendly spirit? Dude, if he's an evil... Oh, yes, I'm an evil spirit. Like, come on. Do you really think he's going to tell you that? Like, if they're out trying to hurt you, they're not going to give you a heads up. They're not going to be like, yes, I'm an evil spirit, and in 3 days from now, I'm gonna kill you or something like that. Like, come on, like if they want to, they can lie to you. I mean, it's like a demon or something. That's what it's gonna do. Whatever it wants to do. It's not gonna straight up tell you, yeah, I'm gonna be good to you. Don't worry about it. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense. At the same time, I do want to add, because I just realized this is the second time watching this. The decoration, it's just so like obvious, like, oh, we want this.
Yeah.
This is inviting. This is the house for this.
You have a ghost right there.
And
Chucky,
animatronic.
the thing that was flashing lights.
Yeah. It's like at a certain point, it's just like, I think it's pretty clear. And he even mentioned it. So this is something that he wants. So that's fine. That's his decision. I mean, I know he has, I think, his girlfriend. I don't know if it's his wife. I'm not sure. But in reality, where you're leading her, right? You know, like if he's the leader in the house. But regardless, it's not a good look, because you're inviting so much, you know. At the same time, like you mentioned, there is so much happening. Also with the equipment, how he mentioned, like, I have so many equipment. What if, like, let's say 14 demons want to work with one, and then 30 more over here, then 20 more over here. Like, you just opened so many things. Yeah, that's bad, but...
No, it wants Leslie.
It literally said unholy L-E-G, Leslie's exact initials.
Wait, I'm gonna turn on the bell because I didn't even turn it on. Let's turn it on. It's gonna calibrate. No one is in here, by the way. We are the only 4 people in this house, including our camera guy. We just turned on the bell in the kitchen.
Another option for you to contact us, so we're literally holding your hand through this, guiding you to speak to us, so.
We honestly just want to get some answers. You're a spirit that resides in this house. If you followed me from my house, you know, we just want to get some answers. Do you like Leslie?
If you don't like Leslie, stop the temperature spike right now. Okay, if you do like Leslie, stop the temperature spike. Okay, make signals. I'm telling you, they play tricks.
Yeah,
they literally play tricks on you.
Do you want us to go?
Yeah, they hit it on the nail.
Dude, if that were my girlfriend or my wife, we'd be out of there so fast.
Yeah, I would have moved.
Like, I would have been like, there's no way if I really think that this thing is after my girlfriend, I'm like, we're gone. Like, there's no way we're staying there.
Yeah. And in the perspective of someone that's not a Christian and not aware about, like, I could just rebuke it. What's it called? Go to someone who you know who is, which is a priest, which is the local church. Literally find someone, anyone, and ask questions, and they can be like, dude, just do this. And it's so easy. I know they get a little hazy when you go to other churches, but in reality, it's like, at least they'll give you a better answer than adding more people into this mix with more equipment. This is not the way to do it. But
yeah, you have a guy here saying, I've got a friendly spirit attached to me. It's like, dude,
be gone.
like, you're out of my house. Like, don't ever come back.
Yeah, it's tough though. I mean, people just don't know though at the same time. Anyway.
To a different area of the house. It's like calling us back. Don't go to the kitchen and look around.
Just straight sweep the camera. I was gonna ask you, so do you believe whatever's happening is happening? You don't think it's a gimmick?
I think it could be a gimmick. Yeah, I mean, they don't seem to really like. I mean, look at her. It's talking about her, and she's just there like it's nothing. Yeah. No, I think it's a
again, this is their home though, and they have their own show or whatever YouTube videos that they do. Not necessarily based on ghost stuff, but they're kind of leaning on it now. But
I mean, wouldn't it freak you out at the very least? Like, there's this thing.
Well, when I was younger, well, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, wouldn't it freak you out that there's this thing that's supposedly in your house that you can't see, you can't actually talk to, that you're trying to communicate with, and everything it's getting is saying that it's kind of attached to you?
When I was younger and I was experiencing a lot of stuff, after a while, which it did took time, after a while, I was numb to it.
You just got used to it?
Yeah, but that didn't mean that they didn't up their game. So, to be honest, like restroom door going, that woke me up, you know? And that was like, okay, this is for real. Running up the stairs or whatever, like all that crap. So, they do up their game. So, at the same time, they're kind of like chill about it, but I think they want that.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
If they wanted something more to happen.
Like you mentioned, I would have been like, bro, we gotta go. We're moving out. Anyway.
So guys, this is a music box. It's a coffin-shaped device where you set it. You know, it usually works best under doorways or in hallways, but you turn it on. So I'm gonna face it outside of the room, and it's gonna calibrate. It plays a little scary jingle.
I hate that jingle.
Okay, now the only way it can go off is if you walk in front of it.
Okay, so there's a couple of things that I think about when I watch things or when I see things like this. One is that we're kind of desensitized to these things just because we live in such like a modern world that a lot of people are like, oh, that's not real. Like, there's no such things as demons, as spirits. Like, if there were, we'd be seeing them right now. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like they find different ways to deceive you now. There's different ways to do it where you're not going to have an apparition like you used to, or maybe you still do, but not as often. Like maybe in like remote places it's more common and things like that. And then I see things like the red book or the little coffin thing.
Machine, yeah.
And it reminds me, he's like, oh, they have to go through a doorway. It works best under a doorway or something like that. And it reminds me of like how vampires, they supposedly can't come into your house unless you invite them in. I feel like in stories like that, like in a lot of like mythical stories, there's like a kernel of truth in there because it's not, they didn't just come up with it, right? Like there was something happened and then over time maybe developed something else, but there's like a kernel of truth to it. But I wonder like how they even came up with the red book idea. Like where does that come from? Who came up with that?
It's gotta be something like with the idea of like with the purpose of contacting the dead.
Yeah.
And so it might have been just some curious person that just grabbed the book and said da da da, and it just had to be a red or whatever, and then they passed it on. But I don't know if like a company's out here printing these out because you can just straight up put some stupid crap and ruin everybody's life. Right. You know what I mean? So that's another thing. What's it called? The intent of what you're purchasing, the people that make it. Like just because you buy a jewelry that's the evil eye, you don't believe it, but the intent behind it is to have spiritual binding behind it. So cast those out, throw those away.
And before we continue, one thing I do want to say, I know that a lot of people talk about, the upside down cross, but I don't know when it became a negative thing.
Oh, yeah.
I do know that there was an apostle, I think it was Peter, who was going to be crucified. And he said something like, I'm not worthy to die in the same manner of my Lord. So they crucified him upside down. And if the regular cross is a symbol for us, I don't see why that would be wrong. I just don't know when it became such a negative thing. Like, the upside down cross means it's bad.
I think it has to do with the party of like the Satanic party, where they really ruined it by purposely doing sacrificials on animals in that position.
Oh, really?
To mock God or to mock him.
It's trying to be like a mockery of
Yeah. But regardless, the point is, what's it called? It's unholy, man. It's just, I mean, back then, if you were caught wearing a cross, you're insane. Like, because that was a sign of punishment. The cross was a punishment. The symbolization didn't change until Jesus, after the 3 days specifically.
Yeah, so I guess they're just trying to corrupt something that's, I guess it's not bad, like an upside down cross. It's like
same thing happens with what's his name? Noah. When he saw the promise of God with a rainbow, and where is that now?
Oh yeah,
now it's a whole month of completely backwards, and they dedicate it to a freaking evil spirit, and pride or whatever. Anyway, moving on.
Yep.
It's really, really bad.
Oh god!
Oh my god!
Does it mean it's following us upstairs?
Hold up, can you walk in front of the music box again? You just did it. Oh.
Also, quick story about this room. This room had the highest carbon monoxide levels.
No way.
And usually it's like the kitchen or like somewhere where there's like gas appliances.
Yeah. Why did that stop going off?
Hey, that's so scary.
Hey, did you have to like rub the book? No.
Him going, oh, and everyone was going, oh. It's encouraging. If I was a demon, I'd be like, yeah, they like this. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna make them want me to do it more. Because what they're doing, actually, what Brian just said right now, do we have to rub it? Do we have to do anything? And earlier they mentioned about before we start the red book, we have to ask for permission, giving them the authority, which is not the way it's supposed to be. What's it called? But at the same time, it's like, it's encouraging evilness. So eventually, someone's gonna be like, do we have to give them permission to come in? Hey, we give you permission, and then they just stay quiet, and they're like, we give you more permission of doing more things, and then they're like, boom, now we're going in. You know what I mean? So it's bad. You want to jump in here? All right.
Oh, good.
Dude, please, bro, please. I do want to just invite all the spirits into this room. Any spirit that's in this house.
Whoa, what are you doing, dude? Dude, that's why I feel like I can never be in these videos because I would have casted it out already. I would have been like, and the blood of Jesus Christ, get this out of here. Like, get him out of here. And I would have left. I would have not made a good video.
I would have been like, nah, I'm good. Sorry, guys, not going there.
Yeah, that's funny. What's it called? By the way, best freaking partners ever that hide from you just to scare you.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, it went off for a split second. It was the music box, but it went off for a split second.
I can't get that voice out of my head, bro. That was really scary.
What the?
Oh my god.
Dude, did something just walk into the...
You see their physical postures and how they act and how they're behaving in comparison to the living room being like, we're down for all this. And it's a little bit kind of like, I don't know about it now.
I was just thinking about this. Imagine it's just some sort of elaborate prank for him to break up with his girlfriend.
Oh my gosh,
Did
dude.
you say mother?
It's just sounding so demonic.
Hold on. Did you hear mother and mommy?
Yes.
Bro, we reached so many comments that say it was like Leslie's miscarriage.
No, but I feel like they're tricking us.
For those of you guys who don't know.
He's about to mention it, but I feel like that's such a touchy subject.
Yeah.
And just to add on to it is like demons and evil spirits, they don't care. They are trying to make you feel vulnerable. And so this whole charade, it's not true.
I mean, no, it's just I don't know. It's weird, and it's I get what you mean. Like they don't care. They obviously they're gonna bring up whatever it is to hurt you. It's just it's so weird, man. How they're like he's like totally cool with it's her. Like it's attached to her. It's after her.
Yeah, that's true. That I didn't think about it when I first watched this. You ready?
A couple years ago, Leslie had a miscarriage with our baby.
Dude, do you actually think? I mean, it said mother.
I mean, nah. Pause it.
Oh my gosh.
I swear to God, call me crazy. It said dad. Did anyone hear dad? Dude, just okay. Look, I wouldn't have done that. Like, I wouldn't have made you pause it.
Do you have a message for?
What?
What was that? Do you have a message for Leslie and Anthony?
Who's asking questions?
How many spirits are we talking to right now? Are we bothering you right now? Oh my god.
Scared me?
I heard scared.
Who are we talking to right now? What's your name?
Inside. In the attic.
I heard.
I believe genuinely that demons are just listening in and using their own words to scare them. Because that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to make them feel uneasy, make them feel like fear, and then like overall just emotionally pulling them too with the whole mommy and daddy crap. Like, I don't know. I don't believe that crap.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And then I think in the beginning of the video, Anthony had said that they thought that there was someone in the attic, but then they brushed it off. And because I guess police officers checked it, one of his videos. But then he just jumped in and said attic.
Yeah.
That was just enough to pull everybody in.
I thought it was yes or no. Are you a friendly spirit? No.
He said no.
Okay, they finally asked the question. They actually got an answer that they didn't want. But now what?
Yeah.
They're too far in. I mean, I would have been like, when he said, are you attached to any spirit? And he said you. Right there, I would have been like, oh, you're the problem. Get out of here.
Yeah, leave my house right now.
Okay, I keep pausing it. But the what he mentioned is true. He puts a blindfold and headphones on, and he's listening to the machine. So you would be asking questions, I would be responding. Practically the Ouija board. You're putting yourself under like that. You're basically or speaking as a demon.
Oh, so you're getting possessed.
Exactly. Yeah. That's crazy. But don't worry, it's not the Ouija board though.
Can you tell something to Brian to freak him out right now? Maybe a growl?
Do you want to hurt us?
I'm so
Is there anything you want us to do specifically?
mad.
Mad. Are you feeling mad? So you're mad. Can you tell us a little bit more about why you're mad? Can you give us another?
Entitled.
I mean, this is crazy. Like, if they really do think that it's haunted or that there's actually spirits there, like, why are you still there, man? I don't understand.
Yeah. It's but this setup, look at that looks scary. Like that's something that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
And it literally says in the book of Leviticus not to contact the dead and what's it called? Don't even look at the stars for your answers. Don't look at anything like that. So it's demonic. It's evil. It's out to deceive you. And plus, it literally says it. Your mind and your heart is out to deceive you. So what makes you think items will help you figure stuff out?
Yeah.
Anyway, ready?
Who's him? Can we get a name? Are you annoyed that we're trying to contact?
Here you go.
Wait, so are you annoyed that we're?
Here you go sound like sarcastic. Like, here you go.
Yeah.
Try.
I think it's starting to get irritating.
Yeah. Do you want us to stop talking to you?
In heaven.
What? Should we end this? We can leave right now. Do you actually have something?
Come back.
Are Anthony and Leslie in danger by living in this?
Coming over.
We don't want any harm. We mean no harm.
Harm
again. Should we stop? I don't want to get serious. No.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
here.
Okay. Anthony, stop.
What were the questions?
A lot of the answers were making sense.
Like what?
For everyone watching, you could not hear a word we were saying.
No, absolutely not.
Do you think we got the answers that we needed?
You'll never get all the answers.
I think you got a lot though.
But I think to end this off, we gotta make sure that we say goodbye properly. You cannot follow me home. You must stay here with Anthony.
Okay, bro, what the hell?
Because they're already here. They're already here. We're not gonna. Why would I want them coming to my house?
It makes sense.
You're scaring Leslie.
That is the end of this investigation. It was absolutely terrifying. I think.
Well, that's the end, I guess.
You know what's funny? Like, it was always saying that it's like after him, isn't it?
This session or whatever. Or
Yeah. No, this one. I understand. It's like, oh, him.
Yeah.
It's like attached to him or whatever, but they were trying to make it seem like it was attached to her. I don't know. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I honestly, when he said it makes a lot of sense, I genuinely didn't think that it made sense. It was just gibberish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was thinking that too. He was just saying stuff, and I was like, "Oh, like, it makes sense with the question you were asking." Some of the
I think
questions-
I think that's part of it. I think it's just like random crap, and then you're supposed to string it along.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like again, your mind deceives you, so that's probably what your brain was doing. Kind of like, and sometimes it's like, okay, wow, like it's pretty spot on, but like other times it's just like, I don't know, what was he saying? 333. It's just like, I don't know. Anyway, so that's the end of this episode. What's it called? I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoyed our reaction to it. If you want to check out the original video, please do so. What's it called? Thank you, David, for joining me, and appreciate you giving some insight and some wisdom on topics like this and this video specifically, because this one was there was a lot of happening, especially in the bedroom where it was just going boom, boom, boom. But anyway, see you guys later. Appreciate you all. Have a good one. David, you want to
See you guys next time.
peace.